Hey, everybody, welcome to Let's Grow Inside, the 16-week course. So, the way we're going to do it, I think there's on the bottom, you'll see a little scrolling bar. That's where I want you to text the questions. That way, that we can keep the privacy and everybody doesn't have to know who everybody is, but we can still answer your questions. So, that's the first thing I want you to do is text and just let us know, hey, we're here. I'll check that and we're going to get started. This is Amina. This is her first time, y'all. This is her
Yes.
first time. So, how do you feel about this whole process? I know at first you were like, I'm so nervous, but I don't want to steal your thunder. How do you feel about this whole process before we even get started?
Well, I'm still nervous. I still am very, I'm wondering if I can really do this on my own because that's the goal is for me to be able to accomplish this on my own. And so I'm really leaning on your expertise right now because, yeah, you're going to have to make me a believer.
Okay.
That's what I
And we're
can
going to
say
make
for
you
me.
at home a believer
Yeah.
too for everybody. I've talked to everybody who subscribed, and everybody had the same questions like, I don't know what I'm getting into. And I hope that you remember I calmed everybody down and said, don't worry about this. We got this. This is a really easy process. Actually, it's not easy. Growing cannabis is not easy, but we're going to make it easy. And that's the big challenge. Everybody wants to know how to do it. And you probably know people who have grown before, right? And they tell you they know how to grow, and you find out at the end that they don't know how to grow. A couple of you have mentioned that it's like, okay, it's harder than I thought. It is, because anybody can take a seed and put it into the ground and put water on it, add light, and it's going to grow. But that's not what we're doing. We're actually going to get into the pharmacology of weed. We're actually going to get into everything that you want to know about cannabis. So the NPKs, the micronutrients, and everything. The cannabis plant is very similar to the human body. So what we put into it is what we get out. Can we optimize ourselves and operate efficiently? Yes, if you feed it the right nutrients. Will we live if you just eat off of Pringles? Probably not very well. Get it? So, anyway, we're going to get started. I'm going to ask you to cut this box open. I got a box cutter for you. And if you don't have a box cutter at home, a knife, a sharp knife, because we need to open this box, I want you to be careful and not to cut deep into it, Amina, so that you're not cutting into the actual part of the tent.
Okay.
But get that box open. I'm going to check to make sure everybody's chimed in, and I'll let you get started. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I hope you guys can hear me at home. And I'm going to check, see.
Okay, so the box is open. Do I take it out of the box or
So you
just
want to
wait?
take all the pieces out of the box.
Okay.
And you have in the box some corner pieces, the metal pieces. You're going to put all those to the side.
Okay.
And then we'll move the box out of the way.
Okay. These have the letter A on them.
Yep. So all the A's you want to put off to the side.
Just
you can
off
put
the
them over
side,
there.
okay.
And you should have some labeled B and C, hopefully. And depending on which brand, because sometimes they ship different models, we'll go through that. But most of them, if you order the one that we have on the website, you should have the exact same one we have here in the studio. And those should be C.
You put them all over here?
Put them all over the side. And then you have some marked E, probably E.
Yeah.
Those are actually the roof pieces. We're going to deal with those last. So put those over to the side. And then you have some corner pieces, and that's what these are. Those are the middle pieces, the corners. So we're going to start assembling the pieces. So you can put the middle pieces. There's going to be a middle piece behind you and a middle piece in front. But for now, let's put them all over to the side so that we can get situated. And at home, do the same thing. This is the unboxing. This is just the unboxing that we're doing right now. These tents are also called gorilla tents. They're also called stealth tents. And the reason why is if you have lights on inside the tent, which we will, outside of the tent, you could turn all the lights off and you wouldn't see any light seeping out. So these are really, really, really well put together tents. They're designed to keep them in there, which is why they call them stealth tents or gorilla tents. So this is what Mina just pulled out is the cover. Is the cover. And what are those labels?
B.
B. Okay, so it's A, B, C, and E, right?
That's correct.
No D.
No D.
D.
Okay.
And those are that's gonna go inside the tent. We can put that off to
okay.
the side. I'll take this from you.
Thank you.
Get this offset here. Okay.
Okay. I'm a believer so far. That part was easy.
Right. Okay, guys. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take all the plastic and we're gonna throw that away. I'm gonna hold it for you, get it out of the way. I mentioned to you earlier about your space. We want that as clean as possible, as clean as possible. So yeah, let's just keep our area clean. And I'll collect all that from you.
I mean, so when you say keep the area clean, are you talking about just right now, or is that like during this whole 16 weeks? Like, I need to keep it immaculate?
Yeah, during the 16 weeks, you want to keep your space clean. And when I say clean, I mean, I'm not talking about like hospital operating room clean, but you want to clean. You want to be able to have, we don't want predatory insects or dust or anything like that getting into our grow room outside of the area, because we are going to be after capturing fresh air, and fresh air comes from the outside of the room, inside of the room. So we want to keep everything as clean as possible. Okay, so we have our A's, our B's, our C's. These are some straps. I'm going to check to make sure. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds at home. So what I want you to do now is you have corner pieces right here. This is the corner pieces, and you have one corner piece. Let me get it out of the way so we can look at it. And it looks like this. We have a middle piece. If you can hand me the middle piece. Yep. Take that corner piece. Here's a middle piece, right? This actually goes on the top. And then we have a center piece, which goes in the middle on the bottom. Those are the four types of corner and middle pieces, connecting pieces that we have. So we're going to lay out the corner pieces. I'll show you how. So we know that our tent space is 4x8, right? 4x8. So what I want you to do is put imaginary corners in about 4 feet by 8, and make sure that this tab, the black tab, is facing on the ground. And then on the opposite end, you want the other tab facing towards the ceiling. We'll go through that. So we're going to put this tab down, and we're going to create a corner. Here's a corner right here, this corner, and you want to make sure they're facing in the direction. So we'll kind of gauge it 4 feet. And then at 8 feet, we're going to put a corner and connect it. And make sure that tab is down. And then put one down there, and we'll make sure the tab is facing down. Right? Now you should have 4 more corner pieces.
I did.
Right?
Yes.
We're going to put those next to it. And the reason why is because one of these corner pieces is for the bottom. When we build up, the other one is for the top. Make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, please chime in and say, no, it don't make sense. Somebody must have said it don't make sense.
You must make sense in order for us to make dollars.
Okay, somebody had asked, I'm gonna try to answer these in real time while we're doing that. The middle pieces, you have the top and the bottom, right? Those are gonna go in the middle on both sides. So
now?
Yep, we're gonna place everything how it needs to go.
Wait, these?
Yep, that's the middle piece. And that's the middle piece. That's the bottom in the middle, right? And how this is going to go is it's going to face up like this.
Okay.
As we build, right? Then you have the top middle pieces. We're going to put those in the middle as well, okay? I like what Amina did. That's cool. She actually differentiated the piece that goes on the top by angling it, flipping it upside down, and that's cool. Okay. Somebody asked, how big of the space would you need to do this? So the tent is 4x8. I would recommend having a couple of feet at least on each side, uh, because we're going to have a reservoir that you'll see later on as we get going, and it's going to be outside of the tent. We can place it inside, but we're going to do ours outside. So you want some space around it, because the fresh air vents are on the bottom, right? Because air is going to be pulled in from outside of this tent, pulled in to feed the plants from the bottom. So you want to have space around it. Great question. So next, we're going to place and start connecting these. And so the A's are going to connect from the corner to the middle, from the middle to the corner, from the corner to the corner, from the corner to the middle, from the middle to the corner, and from the corner to the corner.
So all of the A's should snap into each other
Exactly.
effortless.
So let's take one out.
Okay.
I'll show you. You'll show me. And you're going to pick up this corner piece. And we're going to snap that corner piece that we have labeled down. You'll see on these that they have a hole on the top. Here's the black part that's facing down on the floor, right? You see they have a hole here on the side and a hole here on the side, right? And then there's two holes at the top. That's the direction that we want. So you're going to take that pole and you're going to connect it into this. And that pin on this pole, you see the pole here? These pins, hope this is clear enough for you guys. These pins squeeze in like that, okay? And they're just gonna pop into there till they snap. And that, make sure that's an A, and pop that in there till they snap, okay?
Okay, so that was going across, right? Yeah.
Pardon?
That's going across this way.
And it's gonna connect, the other end is gonna connect to the middle.
Don't connect this part.
And you'll see the middle one has a hole on the side as well. Now you wanna make sure this middle one is facing up when we connect it. So you're gonna connect it here, and that's facing up. So this is what you wanna look like. The ground piece and that middle piece is facing up. We're gonna place that down there, and we're gonna connect another A to the other corner. We have the piece that's standing up, right? That's how it looks on the other side, connected. And you come down, that's how the middle looks. And we'll watch Mina connect it here. Okay, then she's gonna come and do the same thing, connect that to the corner. There you go. And now we're gonna grab another A and connect that. And we'll connect this with the middle piece. And we want that facing up. So if you want to turn it
Like
over, there you go. Perfect. All right. So, and then keep connecting. We want to now take the poles marked B. And the B's, there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. The B's sit down into the corner, the middle, and the corner middle uprights. Corner middle uprights.
Now the little pushy thing, should it go facing this? There's a hole here and there's a hole on this side. So
Pardon?
There's a hole on both sides, this side and this side. So
Correct.
which one should I make?
That's a good question. So here, we'll point it out. There's holes on both sides. Either side, just make sure they're consistent. So when you put it on this side facing in, that side facing in as well.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Oops. That clicked in. Let's see another shot. We're doing this one on the corners. Let's get all of our corners in first. Yep, and she made sure it clicked. We're going to do all of our corners. Now, C, there should be 6 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take one of these out so I can show on the camera. So, let's check this out. You'll see that the ends are different, right? One of these has this end, which has the tab and it's beveled. The other does not. That is the one that is marked C. And this fits on top of the B.
Go
Just
like that.
like that.
Okay.
Okay? I said I wasn't going to help, but I helped.
Hi.
Okay. Now we're going to connect the top corners with the ones that are on the ground. And make sure the tab, and let me see that one for you, please. Make sure this tab that you see right here is facing up. And these are going to go in the same direction as the ones in the bottom, just in the reverse. So now we want to connect the A's to the center, and I would recommend starting with the one that's leaning so that you can secure that as quickly as possible. So you'll take this and you'll connect one piece to this side and then the other piece to the other side. The biggest mistake that I've seen big first-time growers make, the biggest mistake is telling somebody.
Okay.
Is telling somebody what they got going on. Let me be the only friend that you need when it comes to this. That's why it's step-by-step instructions. Just so that you don't have to worry about that compromise. So we're going to use all the A's, and our structure is almost finished. You have an extra piece, it's because it goes across to support the roof, right? You'll notice that there's not one on the floor because it doesn't need to have one. It stabilizes itself when we start adding weight. And the roof pieces that you see here, these will go, and I can show you now, but we're not going to use them right now. These hang this way and this way to support the lights and the equipment that we're going to hang. But we'll do those after we put the shelf on. So I'm going to put these off to the side. And next is the fun part, which is you taking the frame, and we're going to slide it forward. But now what I want you to do, and I'm going to give you a second because I know some of you needed to move the frame, but all we're doing now is we're opening up the tent so we can look at it. There's a certain way I want you to unfold this, but we have to look at it first. So let's open it up a little bit.
Okay.
And you're going to do the same. Let's turn it this way. Actually, let's turn it. There you go. Perfect. So when you turn this tent, before you do that, let me show. There are, let's see. There's vents that you'll see rip off. These you want to have towards the bottom, and I'll tell you why. So if you just follow what we're doing, when you open this up, there's a top and a bottom. The bottom of the bottom vents should be down by the bottom of the frame, not the part that has the roof, which is this pole at the very top. It's the vents go towards the bottom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Open it up.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is you're gonna open this up. Should open up 2 ways, right? And we're gonna unzip it.
Okay.
So you wanna unzip. That'll unzip. Giving you guys time to unzip your tent. Just unzip it all the way open. Same with the other side at the top. Okay, so now that Amina has unzipped everything, what she is going to do now is you're going to kind of roll this backwards off to one side.
From this
So
side.
this side
Yes.
over here, you're just going to roll, pick it up. There you go. Just roll it back, push it back that way. Like you fold the sheet but backwards.
Well, I was never really a good sheet folder. Just leave you that. It's always been a mystery to me how those little things you don't use. More and more.
Yep, all the way off. Right, and then this side too. This. I'm gonna push all this. There you go. All right, and make sure it's all the way unzipped.
That's the corner.
Right, go all the way as much as it'll go. Okay, that's the corner. Good. Okay. So, what she has now is a roof and a floor, right? And you'll see the floor. Let me pick this up. Right.
This is the pool. Okay.
Can everybody see it on? Same thing with the roof. We're gonna kind of fold this back. All right. There we go. Now, can you guess what we're gonna do next? So the other thing that I want you guys to be concerned about is at this point, we don't want to step inside the tent with our shoes on. So we're gonna take our shoes off. Okay. And now you can step in your tent because you don't want this to get contaminated with anything that you have on the bottom of your shoes, like spider mites, like any other predatory insects. Don't worry, we're going to teach insect prevention so that it doesn't happen, but we don't want to encourage it, right? We don't want to encourage it. So what you want to do now is you're going to take your frame and you're going to lay it down.
Oh, okay.
And make sure that the roof, that the pole is at the opposite end of the vents on the shell.
Okay.
So the roof needs to be at the top, and the floor needs to be, which doesn't have a pole going across. That's the floor. It needs to be towards the bottom vents.
Okay. So these two rectangles are my bottom. I'm like laying this inside. That's it. Just
Correct.
lay it inside. Okay.
Right. That's all you're doing.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm glad you're my friend.
I'm glad I'm your friend too, helping you. I told you I'm here with you guys every step of the way. Every step of the way. And if I'm not physically there with you, you can just watch this. And I'm kind of like I'm there. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get each corner into the corner of the tent and kind of put it in there by putting the, there you go. And then you want to get all 4 corners in. Then we're going to put the floor on and the roof on, and we're going to zip it up after. Yep, there you go. it should be a little tight snug squeeze, but as long as the tops are done, now you start lifting up the floor, putting it, draping it, and hooking it to the top. There you go. Perfect. And then just feed it along. Watch your corner at the bottom there. And once you get the corners in, let me know if your corners, when your corners are in, we're gonna give everybody a few seconds to get all the corners. So the next thing you wanna do, Amina, is take your outer the cover, excuse me. You wanna start draping it over this whole thing. All right. One pole at a time. And there you go. Now straighten that out. Now you can kind of start zipping one side and zipping it back up in one corner. Make as long as your corners are in the bottom snug, it should zip up fairly easy. Look at that.
Yep.
Now do the other side. Let's get the roof. The roof. The roof. Okay, now you're gonna have to get in there and drape it over the middle. I'll drape it over the middle first. There you go. And then pull it straight out. Keep pulling it so it's okay. Now you can come out and zip it.
Come out.
And pretty soon you can put your shoes back on. Just want to get this part done. Okay. And then you come over on the other side. Okay. So now we're going to give everybody a second to catch up before we set this up right.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my shoes.
Okay. So in this position, it's going to be super simple. Now we're just setting it up. We know that we're setting it up with our roof, with the pole that's at the top. That is our roof. The one that does not have a pole is our floor. And the air vents, which come off, they're Velcro. There's two on each side, and then there's two in the back. We'll show you all that. So we are going to be meeting 2 days from now. And I think I mentioned that to everybody. We're going to do a lot this week. So not today, today's Saturday. But Monday, we're going to meet again to put together the LED lights, the charcoal filter, the exhaust, the LED exhaust fan, all those other things we're going to put together on Monday. And then we'll meet again that Saturday. We might meet Wednesday, depending on how far we get, because it's a lot of technical stuff I want to explain to you. So we're just going to take our time. We got 16 weeks, so I hope this is informative. I hope this is informative for you. So now, it may seem like it's heavy, but it's not. My recommendation is to get in the middle at the bottom and just lift it up. You got this. She got this, guys.
I got this.
You got it. Heavy lifting here.
Heavy lifting.
Heavy lifting. Where are you? Where are you? There she is. Good job.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
You're an awesome instructor. That
Thank
was
you.
great.
So now let's go over. We'll give you guys a second to upright the tent. Then we're going to go over the ins and outs of how this tent is constructed and what we have. We have here, I'll let you open it, but it's a Velcro. That's a viewing window. And what that is for is so that you can look inside without actually opening the tent up, because we're going to be using CO2. we're going to be using some things. We want to trap all that inside the tent. But if you want to be able to view it when the lights are on without opening it up, that's what that is. You have two of them, right? And they're Velcro. They just Velcro on, and you can close them. They Velcro closed, right? Then over here, we have air vents. Speaking of the Velcro, actually the other one.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, those are air vents, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's an air vent where we let fresh air in. There's two of those, guys, on each side.
And it comes all the way up. So
Comes-
should it stay? Should it be stay on or stay
Well,
off?
good question, because that depends on the climate that you're in,
Okay.
right? So if it's colder, we want less air in, then we will keep them closed. If we want more air, we will keep them open. And you'll see that on the back side of the tent, we have, hopefully it's not too dark for you guys, but there's two on the back. So there's 4 total air vents on the bottom. Okay. We also can access this tent from the side. We're not going to, but we can. We have ports up at the top. And that is where we're going to be running exhaust. And if you're in a hotter climates later on, if you needed to add air conditioning or exhaust, you could add it through this port. It has dual flaps so that it can close and wrap around some ducting and then close. And it has some pull strings with a tab that you can keep it tight. Coming around the other side, we have the same thing. We have a port here at the top. We also have ports. We'll open it up here. This is how we're going to access the tent most times when we have to do work. That's how we're going to get inside this tent. We'll see. I'm not going to step in here because I have shoes on, but there's a port for exhaust at the top of the tent on both sides as well. And then there's also ports where we're going to run our electric through as well. And you can see those vents at the bottom. The last thing, 2 things we're going to do is you're going to have to take your shoes off. We're going to put our roof pieces in. All right. So let's look at these poles because they look the same, but they're not. One is shorter. The other is longer. You see how that is? So the ones labeled E, we're going to put in first. Okay. And how you do that is you're going to hang it. Let's start with the back side. You're going to hang it like this. And then you're just going to bring it up. In. You're going to hook it, lean it over, and then hook it.
Okay.
Right? E goes this way in the tent, the short way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then F is going to hook here, and then it's going to come over, and it's going to hook in just like that. And the reason why is because the shorter one needs to stay on top, the bottom one has room to hang, and that is what's going to hold our lights. And there she is putting the one marked E. And make sure that's centered, right? There we go. And then the one marked F, pick one side. Yeah, there you go. I would start with the one on the end.
Okay.
That way it's easier. And then you can kind of go that way and lean it up and then hang it. There you go. Perfect. Good. All right. Now, the floor. So this floor insert, we'll go ahead and put it in.
Okay.
Let's put it in.
Do I need to open both sides? Or
You'll need to open both sides.
Okay.
The other thing you guys can see is there's a flap right here. It's got a strap to it. That's designed for you to be able to hook it to the side of the tent.
Cool.
See?
Yeah.
You guys see at home? That keeps it opening so it doesn't just dangle. The floor, the catch floor, is pretty self-explanatory, but it's got straps here that you can tie to the four corners. The strap goes inside, and you'll see each corner. You can take the ties
Put it around the pole.
and put it around the pole. We're going to tie it around the pole to secure it. I've left it dangling sometimes because we're not going to spill any water. This is designed for growers who want to use freestanding pots, right? And when you water it from the top, the water seeps out of the bottom. It would seep into the catch basin so that it doesn't get onto the bottom of your tent. But we're doing some advanced technical stuff here. We're not even top watering our plants. We have a self-automated watering system that we're going to introduce later on. So we're not going to have to worry about any water spilling into the inside of our tent.
It's a little tough to get these little screws through that pole because it is a tight fit.
Yeah.
Okay. Just the feeding of it through this little hole back here because there's not really any space, but you can feed it through.
Okay. There you go. You did it.
Thank you.
You did it. We're on
Yeah.
our way. You're on your way. We're on our way.
Yes.
We're on our way. So we will see you next week. And until then, enjoy your day, enjoy your week. Get ready, get set. Let's go inside. See you next week.